most of the time. I always have people asking me, how do you do that? I mean, nobody wants to hear about it. They think that's none of our business as procurement, that we don't do the work well. It's like the saying Rome was not built in one day. That's a little bit of that. When you're facing such a situation, you cannot launch a company-wide transformation and say, this is how we're gonna buy consulting tomorrow. Forget everything else. This is never gonna work. So your first step is to identify in your top management one um, that could be interested in that could be open to that, often open-minded, early adopter type of personality could make a good fit, and trying to talk to them and explain how you see things and what benefits you see, and start small with one project or a few projects where you can showcase your the value that you bring to the table, and the value of that new process. So when you have demonstrated with those early adopters how it works, then you can use that to communicate more widely what wins you made, and how well you did on that. And from that, build progressively, expand progressively from for larger projects or for adjacent department, and like this, you finally you will be able to convince or commit everyone to that new process. The whole point is also to, while you're doing that, and expanding and so on, building a relationship with your internal stakeholders, because the best way to make sure that you're involved early is to be top of mind to them. To They need to think, oh, I have that project. Maybe I should call Bill from procurement because he always has good ideas. So be proactive, trying to get in relationship with them, to know what are their concerns with the process, usually why they don't call you. Really understand what are the mechanism behind that, and try, and if you can, find solutions, but also sure that you are proactively helping them, even though they don't work with you on consulting, but you are here to help them, and you're available. And that's really something. Is all of this is based on trust. If we do, like, it's just a step back, is that consulting is a human to human business and is built on trust. And if you want to insert yourself in between the stakeholder and the consultant, you won't really do that. It's more a triangle, but yeah, likes to simplify it. Then you need to make sure that the trust from you to the stakeholder is at least is strong enough, so that you can really bring value to that. It's all about that. They need to trust you just as they would trust the consultants, and then you need to also build a relationship with the consultants. So relationship is super important in that specific case of consulting. And one last element is to leverage digital tools. So what is great about this new suite is that you can have an overview of what's happening without necessarily being involved. Meaning that before, in the past, in the last century, um, for procurement to know about all the project, they had to be involved in the process at some point, which means that they could become the bottleneck, right? But that's not the case anymore with the new digital tools. They can have like an in real time overview of what's happening without necessarily be involved. It means that you can know what project you should focus on. You could prioritize where you put your energy, and who you could go to when a project comes into your system, provided that this is early on and it's more at the idea slash demand stage than the project stage. But still, this is the starting point. If you have that information, then you can start building on that. If you don't have that information, everything relies on relationship. And this is really, really, really hard. So that's where having a digital suite that helps you deal with this could really fasten and also help you decide who to go to. And that could be a game changer.